So, good evening to everybody. We are about to start our today's lecture. As you know, yesterday we discussed about the environment and the physical components of the environment, which include soil, air, atmosphere, precipitation, etc., etc. So, yesterday what we discussed, that was the soil, right? We tried to discuss in detail about the soil, and today we will discuss about air and atmosphere, right? So the topic we are going to discuss today, that is a atmosphere. Atmosphere. So first of all, we will discuss that what is atmosphere, what do we mean by the atmosphere, right? So that is important to know first of all. So as far as the atmosphere is concerned, atmosphere is a gaseous envelope that surrounds a celestial body, right? So what is the meaning of atmosphere? We can say atmosphere is a gaseous envelope okay? So a gaseous envelope surrounding a celestial body is known as its atmosphere, right? So let us take an example. Let's suppose this is a body. Let's suppose this is Earth, okay? And here is an envelope of gases surrounding the Earth. So this envelope of gases that surrounds the Earth is known as the atmosphere of the Earth, right? So here can be any other celestial body. Say here can be Jupiter, here can be Mars, right? Here can be Venus, etc., etc. Any celestial body can be here, but we are talking about the Earth only here. So if we talk about the atmosphere of the Earth, right, that means you can say an envelope of gases that is surrounding the Earth, that is known as the atmosphere of the Earth. So one point is that, right? So second thing is that, right? So Earth has a gravitation force. Earth has a gravitation force, and that gravitation force hold the holds the atmosphere around the Earth. Holds the atmosphere around the Earth, right? So this is another point, right? Because Earth has a gravitation, and this is due to the gravitation of the Earth that the envelope of the gases, right, is held around the Earth, right? So this is the main thing. And the next thing is that Earth's atmosphere consists of what is there in the atmosphere of the Earth, right? We can speak about that, right? So atmosphere of Earth atmosphere of the earth consists of, right? So what is there in the atmosphere of the earth? Gases. There is the water vapor in the atmosphere of the earth, right? And there are, we can say, the particles, right? So what type of particles can be there, right? So those particles can be particles of dust, particles of pollen, right? So those may be the particles of smoke and soot, right? Those may be the particles of smoke and soot which are there, right? So these are the various particles, right? And apart from that, there can be some living microorganisms as well. Some living microorganisms as well in the atmosphere of the earth, right? In the atmosphere of the earth, right? So please bear this in mind that the atmosphere of the earth consists of all these things. One is the gases, okay? Second is the water vapor. Third is the particles of dust, pollen, smoke, soot, etc. And next is the microorganisms which are living in the air. So these are the various constituents of the atmosphere, we can say, right? These are the various constituents of the atmosphere, right? So now the next thing is that, right? The next thing we can say, that is the density of atmosphere. Density of atmosphere, right? So what is the density of atmosphere? Density of atmosphere means the concentration of the gases and particles, right? The concentration of gases and other constituents of the atmosphere determine the density of atmosphere. Determine its density, we can say like that, right? Determine its density. Okay, so now we know that atmosphere, right, starts from the surface of the earth, and from the surface of the earth, right, so it extends towards the space, right, on all sides of the earth, right? So this is quite clear. From the surface it extends towards the space. Okay, so this point is very much clear to everybody, I think, right? So now the next point is that, right, the density of atmosphere decreases from surface towards the space, right? So what is the point? That density of Earth's atmosphere decreases from surface towards space. Density of Earth's atmosphere decreases from surface towards space, right? Or we can say that the density increases from right, increases from top towards bottom, increases from top towards bottom. Okay, so this is the point, right? So what is there? If we see that, right, we move from bottom towards the up, right? So then what will be there? The atmospheric density, right, will increase from right up towards the bottom, right? Okay, so if we move from bottom to up atmosphere, then the atmospheric density would decrease, and if we move from top towards the bottom, the atmospheric density will increase, right? Why this happens? This is due to the gravity of the earth, right? This is due to the gravity of the earth, right? So due to the gravity of the earth, we can say, right, the heavy particles or the heavy gases in the atmosphere, right? So that are, we can say, right, that are held, okay? So due to earth's gravity, the heavy metals, sorry, the heavy particles and gases, right, are concentrated or remain concentrated near the surface, okay, near the surface. So this is the reason that why the density of atmosphere increases from, right, top towards the bottom or decreases from bottom towards the top, right? So this is the reason that why this happens, right? So this was about the density of the atmosphere, right? Because the we can say, right, the molecules are pulled towards the earth by the gravity, right? So that is why the heavier elements, right, concentrate near the surface of the earth. This is the reason that why the density of the atmosphere increases from increases from top towards the bottom and decreases from bottom towards the top. So this was about the that atmosphere, that what is atmosphere, right? So now the next thing is, we can say that, right, composition composition of clean dry air. So what would be the composition of the clean dry air? Okay, clean dry air, right? So if we talk about this composition, we can say that first of all, nitrogen is the most abundant element in the atmosphere of the earth. 78.084%, right? 0.84% is the nitrogen, right? So second most abundant element, that is the oxygen. Oxygen is 20.9% approximately, right? And the next comes the argon, right? So argon is approximately 0 point, we can say, 93%. Okay, it's approximately 0.93%. And the next comes the carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide. As far as the carbon dioxide is concerned, it is a 0.0355, right, percent in the atmosphere, right? Then there is the neon, right? As far as the neon is concerned, neon is a 0 point, concentration of neon is 0.0018% in the atmosphere. And the next comes the helium, right? So helium is approximately 0.00052% in the atmosphere of the earth, right? This is there. And next comes the methane, right? Next comes methane, CH4, right? So methane is about, we can say, 0.00018%. And next to methane, there is, we can say, krypton, right? So krypton is 0.00011%. right? So next comes the hydrogen. So hydrogen is approximately 0.00005%. Okay. And the next comes the nitrous oxide, right? Nitrous oxide. So nitrous oxide is approximately 0.00003%. That is the nitrous oxide approximately. So this is the composition of the clean dry air, right? So here we have mentioned two words, please note, right? So one word we have mentioned here, that is the clean air. And the second word we have mentioned here, that is the dry air, right? So it means the concentration of the various elements in the atmosphere, right, in the atmosphere changes. Okay, the relative proportion of various elements in the atmosphere changes, right, with change in the pollution, right, with change in the pollution, or we can say the degree of cleanliness of air. Okay, degree of cleanliness of air. So it changes with that. One is that, and second, it changes with the humidity content in the air, right? Humidity content in the air, right? So this is an important point, right? So that means we can say that the relative proportion of various element in the atmosphere, right, keeps on changing. We can say within a year. How it changes? It means because during the monsoon periods, right? So when there is when there is concentration of the, you can say, uh, more water vapor content in the, we can say, air, right? One point. And or we can say when the humidity is more in the air, so then what will be there? The relative proportion of the water vapor content will be higher into the atmosphere as compared to the other, we can say, uh, right, elements. The relative proportion, we are talking about the relative proportion that increases during the monsoon season, during the summer season, right? And similarly, if we talk about the summer season, dry season, right, when there is the absence of the rainfall, total absence of the rainfall, like the month of May in our country, right? So in that period, the air becomes dry, right? In that period, what happens? The air becomes dry, and what is there? The relative proportion, right, of the water vapor, right, falls into the atmosphere, right? And so accordingly, the you can say relative proportion of various elements of atmosphere will change. Okay. So please bear this in mind, that whatever you read in the books about the composition of the atmosphere, right? So that composition, right, is with reference to a particular, right, level of the pollutants in the air, or particular level of the particles of dust, pollen, soot, smoke, etc. into the air, and a particular level of the humidity into the air, right? So if these two things change, so obviously the relative proportion will also change. Okay. So this is your duty to remember this, to bear this in mind, please, right? So this is about the composition of the clean and dry air. So the next point here, which is important now, hmm, Let me check a message, little message. Okay. So next is the, right. So from the bottom of the earth, from the surface of the earth, it is better to write it. From the surface of the earth toward the space, the entire atmosphere of the earth, the entire atmosphere of the earth is divided into the following layers. Okay, is divided into the following layers, right? So accordingly, this is divided there, right? So let me draw this figure here, right? Let me draw it here. Okay, so on this side, right, on this particular side, we are taking, what we are taking here, we are taking the altitude. Altitude, right? In what? In kilometers. Altitude in kilometers. This is there, right? And on this particular side, right? So we are taking, we can say the temperature. We are taking the temperature. We can say it's T, right? We are taking temperature. Okay, so this is there, right? So now what is there, right? So one layer of atmosphere, sorry, first, before that, let me do here one thing more, right? So let me write here that this is the height. Let's suppose this is the 20-kilometer height here, okay? And let's suppose here is the height, that is the 40 kilometer, okay? And let's suppose here is the height, we can say, which is 60 kilometer, right? And let's suppose here is height, which is, we can say, 80 kilometer, right? And let's suppose here is height, sorry. Okay, and let's suppose here the height increases to about 100 kilometer, right? 100 kilometer, and the height is still increasing there, right? So this is the point, right? And on this side, suppose we are taking here the temperature, right? So let's suppose here the temperature is 100 Kelvin, and here we will take it 200 Kelvin. Here we will take it equal to 300 Kelvin. Here we will take it equal to 400 Kelvin, and here we will take it equal to 500 Kelvin, right? So this is the temperature, let's suppose, right? And this Kelvin, right? So we can write it into that degree Celsius also, right? So this will be minus 173 degrees Celsius, right? And this will be minus 73 degrees Celsius, okay? And this will be 27 degrees Celsius, we can say here. And this will be 127 degrees Celsius, right? And this will be 227 degrees Celsius, right? So we can write it that way also. There is no problem, no harm at all, right? You can write it anyway, right? And let me write it here that it is, we can say, it is degree sorry, it is Kelvin, which is K, right? It is Kelvin, which is K, right? And let us take it that it is, we can say, Celsius, right? It is, we can say, the Celsius, right? So, so we can say that it changes like this, right. So on this basis, we will draw this figure, right, which will show the, you can say that layers of the atmosphere of the Earth. On this basis, we will do it, right? So now, what is there, right? So here, at a certain height, right? So we will discuss about the height later on, right? So here at a certain height, there is a one layer of atmosphere which falls here, right? And then what is there next to that at another height, right? There is another layer at this height, another layer of atmosphere, right? And then we can say beyond this, there is another layer of atmosphere which falls approximately here, okay? Another layer of atmosphere which falls approximately here, right? So now what is there? So let us give name to these layers of atmosphere, right? So this layer of atmosphere is known as the troposphere. Troposphere, okay? Troposphere. And next to this, the name of this layer of atmosphere, we will say it the stratosphere, right? Stratosphere. This is that layer of atmosphere, right? And next to this is the mesosphere, right? Mesosphere, okay? And next to this is the thermosphere, thermosphere, right? So accordingly, these are the various layers of atmosphere from bottom to upwards, right? So these are the layers of atmosphere, right? So now there is one important thing that in this layer of atmosphere, which is known as the troposphere, right? So in troposphere, the temperature falls with the increase in height, right? And at a certain point, right, so this trend of fall in temperature with increase in height stops, that pauses, right? Right, that pauses, or that we can say stops here, right? Stops here, right? And then the trend got reversed, right? So then the trend got reversed. So what happens here? Then the temperature start decreasing with increase in height, okay? So this trend goes up to a certain height, right? Then again this trend is discontinued, right? Okay, this trend stops again here, right? And once the trend is stopped here, then again the trend is reversed, okay? Then again the trend is reversed, right? So this goes this way, right? Then again it stops for some time, right? Stops. So, and after it stops for some time, then again the trend reverses, right? And the temperature, right, starts falling, sorry, increasing with increase in height. So these are the various layers of the atmosphere. Please bear this in mind. Okay. And what is there, right? These black lines which are there, what are those black lines, right? So as far as those black lines are concerned, right, let me tell you that these black lines, this black line is known as the tropopause. Tropopause, okay? And this black line is known as the, we can say, stratopause, right? And stratopause, right? And this black line is known as, what is that? That is the mesopause, okay? That is the mesopause, okay? Mesopause. So these are the pauses, various pauses, right? So where this trend stops and this trend is, we can say reversed wear, right? And here one more important thing, which should be noted, that this part of the atmosphere, this one is this part of the atmosphere, and second is this part of the atmosphere from surface up to the stratopause, and the second is from stratopause upwards, right? So, so this part of the atmosphere is known as the inner atmosphere. Inner atmosphere. Okay, this part of the atmosphere is known as the inner atmosphere, right? Sorry, in a lower atmosphere. So this part of the atmosphere is known as the lower atmosphere, and this part of the atmosphere is known as the upper atmosphere, we can say, right? Upper atmosphere. Okay, upper atmosphere. So this is there. Okay. So now it means the entire atmosphere of the earth is divided into two broad parts, lower and upper atmosphere, right? So lower atmosphere is from the surface up to the stratopause, right? And the upper atmosphere is from stratopause uh, upwards, right? So as far as this lower atmosphere is concerned, it consists of two layers. One layer is known as the troposphere, second layer is known as the stratosphere. And as far as the upper atmosphere is concerned, it again consists of two layers, or even beyond that also, right? So that is mesosphere and thermosphere, we can say, right? So I hope these points are clear to you, right? In case any doubt, you can raise your hand and ask, please, right? So this is the point now. So the next thing is, we are now discussing about this troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, and thermosphere, right? One by one, though the discussion will be brief, because the parts, or because the content which is important, or which is related with the geography subject, that perhaps we will not discuss here, right? The content which is related with the environment only, that we will discuss here mainly, right? So one thing is the troposphere, right? So troposphere is the lowest layer of the earth, lowest layer of the atmosphere of the earth, which starts from the surface, right? Starts from the surface and extends up to approximately 18 kilometer of height. Extends up to 18 kilometer of height. Okay. So due to the gravitation of the earth, right, maximum weather phenomena occur in this layer, which is the troposphere, right? So please note this point. Due to the gravitation force of the earth, maximum weather phenomena occur here, right? Maximum weather phenomena occur here, right? So this layer has a more than 80% of the mass of the atmosphere of the earth, right? So very important point. So one thing is that troposphere, right? So let me write it here. Troposphere. What is troposphere? It is the lowest layer in Earth's atmosphere. In Earth's atmosphere. So one point is this, okay, which is important here. Lowest layer in Earth's atmosphere. The second thing is that due to the gravity of the Earth, okay, maximum weather phenomena, okay, maximum weather phenomena occur here, Okay, maximum weather phenomena occur here due to the gravity of the earth, right? And number three, right? Number three, more than 80% of more than 80% of mass of at mass of Earth's atmosphere is here, right? More than 80% of mass of Earth's atmosphere is here. Okay, and the next important point is that its height, its height decreases from its height decreases from equator toward poles. Okay, from equator toward poles, right? Its height decreases from equator toward poles, right? So this is an important point. Let me explain it to you, right? So let's suppose this is the line. Sorry, let's suppose this is the line which is the equator. This is the line, right? And on this line, here is the equator. Okay, here is the equator. Let's suppose equator at 0 degree, you all know, right? And here is the North Pole at 90 degree. I'm writing NP here, right? Let's suppose. And here is the South Pole, right? Again at 90 degrees south. It is at 0 degree equator, right? Right. So I mean to say that the height of the troposphere is like thus. Like thus, right? Like thus means the height of the troposphere shall be maximum at the equator, right? And it shall uh, decline, okay, and it shall become low from equator towards the poles, right? So when we will move from equator towards the poles, the height of the troposphere would also decrease. Okay, so please bear this in mind. Height of the troposphere would also decrease. Okay, so approximate height at the equator, the maximum height that becomes up to 18 kilometers, right? And at the poles, the maximum height remains up to 8 kilometers. So this is the difference here, right? Height becomes up to 8 kilometers, right? So what's the reason? What's the reason behind this? Right? What is the reason behind this? There are 2-3 reasons, right? One reason, two important reasons I would like to say. One reason is that at the equator, the incoming solar radiation is received more as compared to that at the poles, right? So therefore, equator remains relatively warmer, right? And under the warm conditions, the air heats up and it expands, right? Due to the expansion of the air, right? Due to the vertical expansion of the air, right? So the height of the troposphere increases here above the equator, right? Increases here above the equator. Is it clear? Right? And the second point which can be there, that is that the gravitation force of the earth increases from equator towards poles, right? At equator, the gravitation force of the earth shall be less, right? And towards the poles, the gravitation force of the earth shall be more, right? So what is the reason behind this, right? So let's suppose this is the earth, right? This is the earth, right? This is the earth. Okay. Okay. So I'm just taking it this way. This is the earth, right? Uh, and center of the earth I'm taking here, right? So this round, let it be taken as the center of the earth, right? So what is there? Because there is a bulge, है ना, on the earth, we all know about it. So therefore, right, there is a bulge at the equator. So therefore, what will happen, uh, right? So this north pole will be here, and south pole will be here, right? And in comparison to that, the equator will, sorry, the this, right? Okay. So this is like this, right? So let me tell you, let me make it more clear, because so far it may not be clear to you, right? Because the concept is there in my mind. So to make it more clear, right? So let me make it like this. Suppose this is the earth, right? Suppose this is the earth, and this is the shape of the earth, right? It is not a perfectly round ball, right? So it's bulging, right? So it bulges at the equator, right? So it means if the center is here, right? If the center is here, let me tell you, okay? If the center is here, so then what is there? So this point, North Pole, will be near the center, right? Then this point, right? So the point A will be farther from the center of the earth, and point B will be nearer the center of the earth, right? So if point B is farther from the center of the earth, then the gravitation would be less at point A and gravitation would be more at point B, right? So therefore, if the gravitation is more at point B, then that means the atmosphere, right, will be, right, hold, right, firmly by the gravity of the earth at the poles, right? So this is the reason, these are the two reasons that why the height of troposphere decreases from equator towards poles. Okay, these are the two reasons. I hope this is clear to you. Okay. Okay, so this is clear to you. Is it okay now? So we were discussing about the troposphere, right? So troposphere, I have discussed about the height, that you can say this is the condition of about the height, right? So this happens with the height there. Okay. So now the next point which we are going to discuss here now, right? So that is, I think, the next thing is that which is important here to discuss, that in the troposphere, right, there is fall in temperature with increase in height, right? In troposphere, there is fall in temperature with increase in height. So let me write it, right? So fall in temperature, right, with increase in height. Okay, with increase in height. So this is known as the, we can say this, right? Fall in temperature with increase in height. Okay. So the rate at which the temperature falls with increase in per kilometer of the altitude or per kilometer of the height, that is known as the lapse rate, right? So what is there? So there becomes one concept, so I write one term, that term is known as the lapse rate, right? Lapse rate. Okay, so what is the lapse rate? Lapse rate is the rate of fall in temperature, fall in temperature, right, with every kilometer of increase in height, right? With every kilometer of increase in height, right? And this rate at which the temperature falls increase in height, this rate is known as the lapse rate. Clear? Clear point? And in troposphere, the normal lapse rate is 6.4 degrees Celsius per kilometer. 6.4 degrees Celsius, okay, Celsius per kilometer, right? So it means per kilometer, right? So, right? So if you climb 1 kilometer higher, right? So then there will be fall in temperature, which is approximately 6.4 kilometer on average, we can say, right? So this is the average rate we are talking about. Okay. So clear point. Okay. And the next point is that, as I have told you, that maximum of the weather phenomena occur in this layer of the atmosphere. You remember now? Maximum weather phenomena occur here, right? And cloud formation, right? Precipitation, rainfall, right? So all these things mostly occur here in this region only. Okay. And one more point is that, right? So in this layer, the rate of turbulence is very high. Air turbulence, movement of air, up and down movement of air, right? So that is very high, right? Air can move. There can be two types of movements of air. One is the horizontal movement of air. Second is the vertical movement of air, right? So when air moves in vertical form, right? So that is known as the air turbulence, and air turbulence is found maximum, right, in this troposphere. And this is the reason that troposphere is not an ideal layer of atmosphere for jets to fly, right? So it is not an ideal layer of atmosphere for jets to fly. Okay, for jets to fly. Is it okay? Are you clear about the troposphere up to this point? Okay. So now I am going to delete this troposphere content, right? So that we may write other content here. So have you noted it down? Okay. Okay, cool. So now next layer, that is the stratosphere. Okay, that is the stratosphere, right? So stratosphere is the next, right, to the troposphere, is the next to the troposphere, right? So if we move from the surface of the earth upwards, so it comes at the at number 2 after the troposphere. Okay? So one point is that stratosphere, right, is such a layer, it is such a layer of atmosphere that contains a thin layer of ozone, that contain a thin layer of ozone. Okay, that contains a thin layer of ozone. One point is this, which is important here, right? So ozone where? Ozone is more concentrated in the upper part of the stratosphere. Okay, in the upper part of the stratosphere. Okay, stratosphere. So one point is this, right? So we know that since ozone prevents the harmful ultraviolet rays, right, coming from the sun, right, reaching the earth, right? So since ozone prevents the ozone UV rays, comma, coming from the sun, right, reaching the earth, okay? So therefore, this layer of atmosphere is known as a protective layer, life savior layer, right? So this layer of atmosphere is known as a protective layer. That is, we can say, life savior. Okay, so this is again important, right? So next is the vertical movement of air happens here. Vertical movement of air happens here, and there is no turbulence in this part of atmosphere, right? So therefore jets fly in this layer of atmosphere, in this layer. So jets fly here, right? Because there is the horizontal movement of air, vertical up down of air is absent there. So that is why this is calm layer comparatively. So therefore the jets fly here, we can say, right? Jets fly here, right? And along with the troposphere, means both troposphere and stratosphere, right, uh, constitute 99.9% of the atmospheric mass of the earth, right? So ये दोनों मिलके अर्थ के एटमॉस्फेरिक मास का 99.9% कॉन्स्टिट्यूट करते हैं, राइट, देते हैं, मीन्स, राइट. So that is why these two layers are very much important layers in the atmospheric studies, right? Very much important in the atmospheric studies, we can that. Is it clear? Yes, vertical movement causes turbulence because up down सब होगा ना, air ऊपर जाएगी नीचे, ऊपर नीचे, so that will cause turbulence, right? So up to this point it is clear. So next point is that, right, which we are seeing here in this diagram also, that in stratosphere temperature increases with increase in height. Temperature increases with increase in height, right? And it is extended up to approximately 50 kilometer of height. from the surface, right? So surface से लेकर के approximately 50 किलोमीटर की height तक है ये from the surface, right? So this is the next point about the stratosphere. Yes, vertical movement don't happen here. Okay, don't happen here. Point C, vertical happens. Oh, sorry, don't happen here, and there is no turbulence. Yes, here it is written wrongly. Thanks for pointing out. Vertical movement of air, right, doesn't happen, or no vertical. मैं लिख देता हूँ. No vertical movement of air, and there is no turbulence, right? So let me clear it to you. I am going to discuss this phenomena also with you, right? So as far as this part and this phenomena is concerned, so far we have discussed about two layers. One layer about which we have discussed, that is, we can say the troposphere. And the second layer which we have discussed, that is the stratosphere. Stratosphere, right? So I have told you that in troposphere there is the vertical movement of air, right? But in stratosphere there is no vertical movement of the air, right? So we have discussed about these two things, right? So what is the reason, right? So the point is that, right? So troposphere is heated up. Troposphere is heated up by the radiation, right, returning to the space, right, after striking with the surface of the earth, okay. So now the point is that that troposphere starts heating up from the bottom towards up, right? Please bear this in mind. Troposphere starts heating up from the bottom. It starts heating up from the bottom. Now, let me explain this to you, right, in more clear terms, right? Let's suppose this is the surface of the earth, right? I'm taking, this is the surface of the earth. This line which is here, red line, is the surface of the earth, right? And let me take that, this is the sun, we can say. Okay, this is the sun, right? So electromagnetic radiation or the insolation which will be coming from the sun towards the earth, right? So electromagnetic radiation which will be coming from the sun towards the earth, right, that reaches the surface of the earth, right, strikes the surface, and after striking with the surface, right, it is reflected back outwards towards the outer space, right, towards the space, means upward, right, it is reflected back. Okay, so now there are two important things. Let me take it A, or I, uh, let me write it insolation, right, or incoming radiation. Let me write it I only, right, and let me write it O only. This is the outward radiation, right, which is reflecting back, going out, right, IO. Just for the sake of your understanding, I have written it. Okay, so there is a one very important point, one very important thing which you should bear in mind, that the insolation or the incoming solar radiation, electromagnetic radiation, which is coming from the sun, right? That is in the form of the what? Short wavelength, right? So wavelength is a shorter, right? So let me write here I, right? In case of I, what could be the scene, right? The scene could be like this, right? Short waves. Short wave radiation will be there, right? Short wave radiation will be there. And when it would be reflected back, right? After striking with the surface of the earth, right? So it is converted into the long wave radiation. Its wavelength increases. Okay, it's converted into the long wave radiation after reflection. The point is clear. The insolation or the radiation which is coming from the sun towards the earth, that is the short wave radiation, ultraviolet radiation. Okay, and the radiation which is returning towards the surface after striking with the surface of the earth, right? So that is in the form of the infrared radiation, that is the long wave radiation. Okay, clear point. Now the next point is that right, so if the wavelength is shorter, right, it means what is, the waves are more energetic. Okay, the waves are more energetic, right? So if the wavelength is shorter, that means the waves are less energetic. Simple point, right? Waves are less energetic, right? Amrit, are you getting me? Waves are less energetic. These are the 2 points. Clear? Right? Any doubt to anybody, please ask. Okay. So, okay. So these are the 2 important points, right? Since the incoming radiation, right, is short wave radiation, ultraviolet radiation, that is more energetic. That is why whatever the barriers will be there on the way, right, from sun up to the earth, right? So that will cross those barriers, right? And that radiation will not be, right, stopped much by the atmosphere on the way, because this is very much energetic, right? It is in the form of the ultraviolet rays, right? Ultraviolet waves. Okay, so that means right, so it is stronger, right? It is more energetic, so it will cross the barriers and reach the earth. Okay, so atmosphere would not be able to hold it, would not be able to retain it, right? Stop it. So but when it strikes at the surface of the earth and when it returns towards the space, right, then it loses the energy, right? And then it is converted into the infrared radiation, right, which is less energetic, wavelength increases, right? So when it becomes weak, then what is there, right, on their return journey, right? So there is a some atmosphere, right? Whatever the atmosphere is there on the way, right? Whatever the atmosphere is there on the way, right? So that will hold some part of this, right, outgoing, you can say terrestrial radiation, right? That will hold some part of this terrestrial radiation, outgoing terrestrial radiation. right? Okay, okay, and that that and those elements in the atmosphere, right, which hold that outgoing terrestrial radiation, right? So those are known as the greenhouse gases, GHGs, right? Those are known as the greenhouse gases, right? It is due to the concentration of the greenhouse gases in the atmosphere of the earth. The greenhouse effect is produced, and it is due to the greenhouse effect that the earth remains warmer even in the absence of the sun, means at nights, right? At the night time, right, no insolation is received on the part of the earth where you are living. Clear na? No insolation is there, right? But still the earth remains warmer. Why earth remains warmer? Because there is the greenhouse effect, right? And that greenhouse effect is caused by the concentration of the greenhouse gases, right, which is the carbon dioxide, oxides of that we can say, right, nitrogen, right, we can say nitrous oxides, right, and methane, right, water vapor also, right? So there are these greenhouse gases over there, right? So those greenhouse gases trap a considerable part of that energy, right, which is not allowed to escape into the space, right, which produces the greenhouse effect. And this is the reason that the earth remains warmer even during the absence of the sun at night time. Okay, okay, beta. And if that greenhouse effect would not be there, then the temperature at the night time at the earth would become extremely low, minus, right, like it is at some other planets which don't have the atmosphere. Clear? Right? And then what will happen? Life would become impossible on this planet, right? The major reason that why earth exists on why life exists on this planet is the greenhouse effect, right? If there would be no greenhouse effect, there would be the temperature at night time in the absence of the sun would be reduced to a very low level, right? And the life would become impossible over here. Okay, so this is the point, right? But the worry is that, right, so the natural level of concentration of a greenhouse gases into the atmosphere is okay, right? But when those greenhouse gases are in, we can say, addition produced by the human activities, right? So then their concentration is increasing, right, beyond the natural level, right? And the increasing concentration of the greenhouse gases into the atmosphere beyond the natural level, right? So that is increasing the greenhouse effect. And due to the increase in the greenhouse effect, the global warming is happening. Clear this point? Due to that, the global warming is happening, and that is why our scientists are quite worrisome, right? So we are not, you can say, that much worried about the natural part of the greenhouse gases which is there, right? We are more worried about the, right, contribution to the greenhouse gases by the human activities, by the anthropogenic activities, right? Right, because that is increasing the greenhouse effect, and due to which the earth is becoming warmer, warmer, warmer. Clear point? Clear point? And now, beta, what is there? Since in troposphere, right? So this outgoing solar radiation is from surface towards the space, right? So that means what is there? So this part will be hotter as compared to this part. Why? Because because some part of energy will be trapped here, right? Okay, okay, let's suppose if there the energy available is 100 units, right? Out of 100, let's suppose 20 are absorbed in this part, and in this part will remain how much? 80 units, right? And then further it will be further reduced, further reduced, further reduced, right? So this is the reason that in troposphere the the lowest level, right, we can say, right, the uh, uh, at the lowest heights we can say, right, okay, the places near the surface of the earth will be warmer as compared to the places which are right above the surface of the earth or far from the surface of the earth. This is the reason that in troposphere the you can say temperature falls with increase in altitude. Is this point clear to you? Any doubt to anybody? Okay. Asika, Amrit, Aksaj, Aman, Parveen. Okay. So this is the point. I hope you must remember this point. This is very logical point, quite scientific explanation is there, right? Very logical point it is, right? So now the next thing is that, okay, now the next thing is that if the, right, if the you can say places, right, or we can say if the points near the surface, right, if the points near the surface will be warmer as compared to the points above, right, as compared to the points above, right? So here the warmth is higher, right? So what will happen, right? The heated up gases, right, would expand, and when those gases would expand, those will move vertically and those will move horizontally always also, right? So this gas will rise upwards, air will rise upwards from here when it is heated up. Okay, it's clear, na? It's clear. So then what will happen, right? Two, we can say, to fill the gap created by this air, right? So air from the top will ascend downwards because that will be heavier air and this will be lighter air, right? So heavier air will come down, lighter air will go up, right? So this way up and down, up and down, up and down will take place, right? Okay, and that causes the turbulence, right? That causes the turbulence, right? This is the reason that there is turbulence in the troposphere because the air is heated up from the bottom, not from the top, right? So, right. So, beta, if the air would be heated up from the top, then at the lower levels there would be the heavier air, right? Cold air, है cold air would be heavier air, right? So then what would then what would happen? The warmer air from the upper part, right, would not be allowed to move downwards, right, because of the layer of the cold air at the bottom. Okay, so then there will be no turbulence. I think the point is clear to you. Okay, now the next point, stratosphere, right? In stratosphere I told you, right, in stratosphere what is there, beta? In the case of a stratosphere, let me take it, right? Here starts the stratosphere, let's suppose, right? And in stratosphere the ozone is here, right? So now what is there? When the sun rays would fall here, right, the ozone absorbs the sun rays, right? Some part of energy is absorbed by the ozone here. Okay, okay, beta. So then what happens, beta? So in the stratosphere, right, the air, right, heats up at the we can say upper end, nor at the bottom end, because upper end पे क्या है, ozone है, and that ozone is, we can say, right, that absorbs the ultraviolet radiation. Everybody knows it, right? So if the ozone absorbs the ultraviolet radiation, then obviously the upper part of the stratosphere will be warmer, right? And the lower part will be colder, and therefore there is no turbulence in the stratosphere. Clear? Okay, there is no turbulence in the stratosphere. Please note it down. So I hope this point is clear to everybody. So now I am moving further. Okay. So now the previous slide again. We have discussed about the stratosphere now, right? And after stratosphere, there is, we can say, that is the mesosphere, right? After stratosphere, there is the mesosphere, right? So as far as the mesosphere is concerned, the height of the mesosphere is from 50 to 85 kilometer, right? 50 to 85 or 90 kilometer approximately, right? Mesosphere, right? So one point is that height. The height of the mesosphere is from 50 kilometer to 85 kilometer. Okay, it starts at the end point of the stratopause, right? One point is this, right? So the next point is that here temperature decreases with increase in height. With increase in height, right? Because the density of atmosphere is very low in this layer. Due to the low density of atmosphere, the upper part of the mesosphere would not be able to, would not be able to hold the radiation. That is why that remains colder, right? And the bottom remains warmer comparatively. Okay, and that is why, okay, and mesosphere is the coldest layer on the earth, coldest layer of atmosphere on the earth. Okay, coldest layer of the atmosphere on the earth. Okay, so the coldest point on the earth, that is in the mesosphere. Okay, the upper part of the mesosphere is the coldest one. Okay, upper part of the mesosphere is the coldest one, right? So here towards the upper end of the mesosphere, the temperature falls right up to minus 90 degrees Celsius also, or even more, right? 120 तक भी चला जाता है, minus 100, right? So it means this is very cold layer, right? Right? Okay, and this layer protects us from the meteorites, right? Meteorites. So whatever the various pieces of the space debris, right, that comes into the atmosphere of the earth, right? So those are burnt up into the mesosphere before reaching the surface of the earth, right? And that is why it protects us from the bombardment, right, of the debris from the space, right? Bombardment of the debris from the space, right? Because daily हमेशा बहुत सारा डेब्रिस है जो अर्थ के एटमॉस्फेयर में एंटर होता है, एंड दैट फॉल्स डाउन ड्यू टू द ग्रेविटी ऑफ द अर्थ, राइट? बट बिफोर इट रीचेस द surface of the earth, right? So it is burnt up in the mesosphere, right? Due to the friction with the particles, air molecules, right? So it is burnt up. So, okay, so that means mesosphere protects us from the bombardment of the uh, rock debris, right, which is coming from the space. Okay, so this is the point, right? And shooting stars become visible in this layer, mesosphere, right? You might have seen the shooting stars now. So shooting stars become visible here, right? Due to the friction phenomena only. What is that? That is a piece of rock, right? But when it enters the Earth's atmosphere, when it reaches the mesosphere, right, due to the increase in friction, right, so that is burnt up there, right? So shooting star is the burning star, is the burning mass of rock which we are seeing, right? So that's there, okay? And then comes the thermosphere, right? Thermosphere. So in thermosphere, as we are seeing here, temperature increases with increase in height. Is it okay? In thermosphere, temperature increases with increase in height. Okay. And thermosphere starts from approximately 85 kilometers from the surface of the earth, right? And it extends up to more than 600 kilometers, right, towards the space, right? So from 85 kilometer, it extends up to more than 600 kilometer towards the space in height. Clear point? So this is the thermosphere. Thermo, hot, right? So, and this layer is the hottest layer, or this layer is the hottest place on the earth, right? Is the hottest place on the earth, right? Because air temperature goes extremely high, right? And it reaches even up to 1000 degrees Celsius also, right? Extremely high, and it even reaches up to 1000 degrees Celsius also, right? And there is one more layer which is found in this thermosphere, that is known as the ionosphere, right? Within the thermosphere, there is one more layer which is present, that is called the ionosphere, right? So as far as the ionosphere is concerned, we can say, right? So what is this ionosphere, right? So ionosphere is a band of electrically charged particles in the atmosphere. Okay, band of electrically charged particles in the atmosphere, ionosphere, which is known, right? Okay, and what is there? The radio waves, right? Radio waves are reflected from this layer of atmosphere, right? Radio waves are reflected back to the earth from this layer of atmosphere. It means this layer of atmosphere has an important role to play in the communication on the earth. Okay, so transmission of radio waves, right? So, okay, so radio waves when reach this layer, right? So then those are reflected back towards the earth, right? So that is why the radio signals are possible and they move from one place to another, right? So that means thermosphere has an important role to play in the, we can say, communication part, right? In the communication. Okay. So these were the, we can say, various layers of the earth, right? So which we have discussed today in this lecture, right? Which we have discussed today in this lecture. And there are many more things which I need to discuss, but we will discuss it tomorrow, because if I start the next part of the lecture today, that would not be completed, and we may have to right, leave that in between. So that would not be nice. So that is why today we have discussed about this, right? So let me give a brief to you, right? Again, today in today's lecture, we have discussed that what is the atmosphere, right? So atmosphere is an envelope of gases, is a circle of gases, right, around the earth. So that is the atmosphere, right? So atmosphere consists of the various gases, right? And then the water vapor and various particles and some living microorganisms are also there which are found in the air, right? So the role of atmosphere is that it keeps the earth warmer, right? It keeps the earth warmer. It protects us from the ultraviolet radiation of the sun, right? And it protects us from the bombardment of the, right, rock debris coming from the space towards the earth, towards the surface, right? And it has a key role to play in the communication on the earth, right? So these are some important things, right? And moreover, the weather phenomenon, right, occurs in this uh, atmosphere only, right? So if there would be no atmosphere, there would be no cloud formation, right? There would be no rainfall, right? And moreover, there would be no life on this planet because the ultraviolet radiation will reach directly to the surface, right? And due to the ultraviolet radiation reaching the, we can say, surface, right, the life will be badly affected on the surface, and that is why, right, life would become impossible. So atmosphere has a key role to play in life, we have discussed, right? And next thing, I told you that there are four important layers of atmosphere. One important layer is the troposphere, right? Troposphere extends from 0 kilometer up to 18 kilometer above the surface of the earth. Okay. Okay, and we discussed that in troposphere, the that temperature decreases with increase in height, and the rate at which temperature decreases with 1 kilometer increase in height, that is known as the lapse rate, right? And the normal lapse rate is approximately 6.4 degrees Celsius per kilometer, right? In some books, you will find it 6.5 degrees Celsius also. So no need to worry, right? So that is there, right? And I told you that maximum weather phenomena occurs in this troposphere, right? And uh, and the and and we can say the majority of the atmospheric mass, right, uh, is constituted by this troposphere only, right? And there is turbulence in the troposphere, right? Vertical wind movement in the troposphere, air, air movement. So that is why troposphere is not an ideal layer of atmosphere for the jets to move, right? For the jets to move. Okay, so that's the point here. Okay, so now the next point which we discussed, that is the stratosphere. In stratosphere, I told you that temperature starts increasing with increase in height, right? And the upper part of the stratosphere contains the that ozone, right? A layer of a band of ozone gas, right? Ozone. And ozone protects us from the ultraviolet radiation of the sun because the stratosphere is heated up from the top, not from the bottom. That is why the turbulence of air is absent in the stratosphere, and therefore stratosphere is considered as an important layer, right, for the jets to fly, right, for the jets to fly. So that was the point which we discussed, right? So the next point we discussed, that is the mesosphere. Mesosphere is the coldest layer, I told you, right? And in this layer, the density of atmosphere further decreases, right? But it protects us from the bombardment of the rock debris, which is coming from the surface towards the earth, right? So those burn up here, right? The phenomena of shooting stars, which we see, right? So that is seen in the mesosphere. We can say this is the coldest layer, right? Next comes the thermosphere. Thermosphere is that layer of the atmosphere where the temperature increases with increase in height, right? And it goes up to 1000 degrees Celsius even. So this is the hottest layer, right? on this planet, right? Hottest place on this planet, we can say, right? And in this layer, we find the, right, that is the electrically charged particles also, a band of electrically charged particles, which is known as the ionosphere also, right? And radio communication, for that, this layer is very much important, considered very much important. Okay. So in today's lecture, we have discussed all these things, right? So I suggest you to revise this lecture once, right? And in case you feel any doubt, you feel any problems, please feel free to contact me anytime. Okay. So anything else you want to ask or you want to speak, please tell me. Anything else you want to ask? Nothing. Okay. So can I leave then? Okay. Right, better. So we'll see you tomorrow. Okay, at the same time. So bye till then. Okay. Okay, better. Take care.